This message today is for someone going through a third eye awakening. I feel like you're going through this season of intense mental clarity. And in order to arrive at clarity, we must go through the opposite, which is confusion. So you might have found that you've been through a season of intense confusion, I want to say distortion, and also seeing illusion for the truth. And you're now in this season of feeling like you have more discernment over relationships, decisions, and also seeing situations or things clearly, not just as they seem, but as they are. If this resonates with you, then this is a message for you today. I truly don't believe in coincidences. If you found yourself here, then this is for you. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always use your discernment. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as I do readings like this on a weekly basis. Okay, so diving in, I am seeing the color purple with you guys, representative of the third eye. I'm also seeing the number 7. This is the number of spiritual awakening, of knowledge, of wisdom. And I'm also seeing a pyramid. So these are the core symbols just coming through initially and immediately. You guys might have a conscious connection to Egypt or Egyptian wisdom, Egyptian knowledge, or maybe something specifically with the pyramids. Some of you might be interested in the pyramids, how they were created, maybe some, alien entity knowledge or research. For some of you, this might just be some sort of spiritual connection. So you might not be quite conscious of it yet, but it does feel like there is a strong connection here with pyramids, with Egypt, and with your spiritual journey. Some of you might have been reading. I just keep seeing books opening, like reading about ancient Egypt or about someone from Egypt or something. There's something here connecting you to Egypt. So take it or leave it. But that is significant. Now, who I'm speaking with, I feel like you're about to or are actively seeking a community. There's a big theme here of community and collaboration, and I keep hearing soul tribe. I feel like for some of you, you might have really moved out of illusion. This could be illusion in relationships. You were with someone or with certain people where you thought it was a certain way, and now you're actually seeing the truth of that person or that situation, or the truth of why you were placed in that relationship in order to reflect and mirror back to you something about yourself that you couldn't see. And it just feels like you've just shattered illusion and you're seeing the truth, and you're now opening up to different people that resonate on a different frequency. And I feel like there is this connection with research or knowledge or books with this particular soul tribe or community. Some of you might be writing a book. I just keep being drawn to books. So there's something in that there. But I really do feel like community is a strong thing for you. It feels like the work that you're here to do in the world is to do it together with other people. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who actually works best driving a mission with a team or with colleagues or with other people, with partners, than it does to do it purely and solely by yourself. Now, for some of you, this could be an online community. This could be building, a YouTube channel, a personal brand, Instagram, whatever it might be for you, where you're actually gathering a community that way, where it becomes an audience that are really invested in your mission. I feel like that's really important for someone. For others of you, this could be an actual business idea or venture, or it could be some sort of community or group. Now, I'm also seeing that you are wanting to define your message. I keep hearing the word message. It feels like I'm speaking to someone that is leading or is part of a movement. And this movement is actually helping the evolution of humanity. And you're in a season right now where you're seeking clarity on what your specific message is or what your specific movement is. Now, I want to say to you that I feel like the message is going to make sense when you least expect it. So this is a very specific video that I'm doing here. I feel like for some of you, it's going to hit you like that being in the shower moment. And you're going to say, whoa, I've just had this clarity. And I want you to trust that. It doesn't mean that the insights or the nudges you have are going to be the complete message, but they are pieces of the puzzle. And for some reason, that is very specific. So if you do have that insight or that flash of clarity, I want you to take it as a piece of the puzzle, but allow the other pieces to also come in. It feels like if you allow that first insight to be complete, then you're actually not allowing the mission itself to fully complete and be communicated through you. So that's just something to keep in mind. I am being drawn a lot to the throat. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who wants to reveal truth. For whatever reason, this could be the truth in society, this could be truth in humanity, this could be truth in culture, or this could be truth in people. There is something here, and I'm also hearing human behavior. Again, this could be at a societal level, or this could be more of a relationship level. You could be a coach or working with people in some sort of managerial aspect. For some of you, I do really feel like you are online creators, like you're sharing something online and revealing the truth. Okay, and I feel like I want to say to you that your message and your movement is very, very important, almost more important than you realize. I feel like the position that you play as a conduit into the next evolution of humanity is so much more important than you actually understand at this time, because I'm seeing that you're standing at the start line. It doesn't mean that you're just at the beginning, but it feels like this movement has so much more to give than what you've currently done or that you've currently expressed. So for some of you, you might be right at the beginning where you realize that you have this pull towards revealing truth within something or about something, and you're kind of figuring out what that looks like, what it feels like, what the message is, what you stand for, what you advocate for, what your point of view is. For others of you, I feel like you've already started this process, but the clarity is kind of continuing to come in. Like I'm almost seeing like shards of glass is coming in to make the whole vase. So these messages and this clarity is going to come, and it's going to keep coming as you move, as you walk the path. So please stay in movement. Please keep reading. For some reason, books is so relevant with you guys. Please keep reading and learning and advancing your knowledge about what it is that you really advocate for or stand for. That's what I want to say. And just know that the clarity will keep revealing itself as you build the community around you, as you collaborate with other people that also stand for the same thing, and also as you just keep letting it unfold within you. It almost feels like you're at this start line. This is going to be rejected by some of you, but almost like, like a baby or a kid, like you're right at the beginning and there's this excitement, there's this awe, there's this drive, this motivation. But also you only know so much. As you actually learn to walk the walk, and as you start to gather more information, as you start to grow, just like a baby grows into a toddler and a child and a teenager, your movement is also going to go through the same growth process. I feel like at the moment it might be like a baby movement, but I feel like it's going to continue to grow because it is God's work. Like you are a conduit of God's work. There is something that you are here to bring in or reveal to humanity, to society. And it feels like you're at the start line, but do not put pressure or restriction on this, because the movement needs to grow just like a child grows without force. You do not force a baby or a child or a teenager to grow. It happens inherently. It happens with an intelligence that is beyond human comprehension. And I feel like I want to say to you that the same thing goes for your message or your movement. I almost feel like I'm speaking to two different types of people in this message today. The first person is someone who is working more as an individual, as a coach or a creator, maybe an influencer, a practitioner, someone who is wanting to help people, but they are almost by themselves. And I almost feel like I want to say to you that your community is going to be your audience. Do not be afraid to share your authentic message, because it's actually the authenticity of your message which is what is going to allow people to resonate with it. They are going to come to you. They're going to reach out to you. So your mission, if that's who I'm speaking to, your mission is to continue being the light that guides the way for others. The more you do that, I feel like the more people are naturally going to be drawn to you, and that is going to be your community. For others of you, I feel like I'm speaking to someone that wants to work with this team, this group, this collaboration. So your community is actually going to start as this pod. I almost want to say like a pod of people, and that is how it's going to grow. For some of you, I really do feel like you might be creating or running a podcast or doing videos or interviews. There is just, I just keep seeing a camera, and I keep seeing YouTube or some sort of camera set. So that's the other people that I'm speaking to. Now, what I'm being shown is these threads of light. Wow. such a strong energy in my body. You might be feeling this through the screen, but I keep seeing these threads of light coming in. Almost like there's like loads of you that are these little threads of light, and you're going to come together to almost like weave yourself into this beautiful big community. And you're finding each other, just like neurons in the brain that start to fire together, as Joe Dispenza says, you know, neurons that fire together, wire together. Like neurons kind of that start firing, they then find themselves and create this cohesive, strong connection that really creates a lasting effect on how you operate mentally. That's what I see for you, but as different threads of light. I almost feel like the message that you're here to lead or to be part of in this lifetime is one that resonates with the masses. It is one that actually, it's not just something that you just do by yourself, or you think about it, you talk about it, you know, feel about it by yourself. This feels like this is something that does need to be for the masses because it resonates with the masses. And you might be trying to figure out, how am I going to reach the masses? It almost feels like keep it as simple as possible. Keep the message simple, because there's something in the simplicity of the message that is going to allow it to land with the masses, with a large group of people. Do not overcomplicate it. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who's very passionate about things. Like you really stand for things. You have strong opinions. You're very passionate. And whatever it is that you're here to really relay in the world, the message, the movement, it feels like your whole body, like it activates you in your bones. And you just really want to speak about it and share with it. And I'm feeling frustration. For some of you, it might be born through frustration of human behavior, of seeing something in society or the systems or the way we're treated or the way we operate as humans. And you're like frustrated of almost feeling like, why do other people not see this in the way that I see this? And I want to share this as much as possible so people can really understand what this is about. It really feels like you're someone who is a way shower and you're someone who reveals truth. I feel like justice is important for you. You don't like the world to be out of balance. That's very specific, but that's just what I'm being shown. You don't like the world to be out of balance. You want to bring balance into life. You want people to feel empowered. You want the powers that be and the people to feel equal power. That's really interesting. That will be for someone specific. Let me know if that's you. I keep being drawn to candles. You might use candles. You literally might just be someone that uses candles in your meditation, but you also might be someone that feels like you're burning something down. Not in a way of, well, maybe for some of you, it might be like, right, let's burn this to the ground, let's start anew. But it almost feels like a candle burns slowly. This is so interesting. A forest fire burns quickly. It is rapid, it is vast, it is highly destructive. I feel like the candle in this sense is representing a slow burn. It's representing the slow burning of something down, because this movement or this message requires slowness for some reason. And it's not slowness, this is what it is. It requires depth. If you move quickly, it may be destructive. If you move at the pace that it wants to move and you trust the slowness of it, if it feels slow, getting your message out there, getting clarity on your message and your movement, but also, collaborating with other people on it, building the community around it, sharing it. If it feels like a slow burn, it's because that is intentional. The movement will move at the pace it needs to move at to have the best impact. And it's important that you know that. Sometimes when we burn things down too quickly, the destruction almost outweighs the newness or the innovation or the progress. And I feel like I want to say to you that you are slowly burning, because it almost feels like the movement is of such high impact that you need to allow it to be slow so that it does what it needs to do when it needs to do it. So that people find the message when they're ready for it. So that the movement gets into the places and the spaces that it's ready for when it feels ready. It's almost like you're working with collective consciousness here. So you might already see why this message or movement needs to be in the world and needs to help humanity evolve and move forward and grow. But it almost feels like you also need to consider the co-creative element of you and the collective consciousness. Because I truly, truly feel like timing is always perfect. If you feel like it's moving slow, it's because it's supposed to. So really trust and embrace that. because I really do feel like the collective unconscious is almost getting ready for what it is that you have to share. Does that make sense? It feels like the world might know what you talk about in some way, but not in the way that you are going to speak about it or the intensity that you are going to speak about it. And I do feel like I'm seeing with you that you might be going into groups or communities, like maybe doing like live events or speaking to a room of people. That will resonate for some of you. That's what I'm being shown, is you're speaking to a room of people. And it almost feels like really the people you speak to who are there to receive the message or the movement, again, allow it to be graceful. Like allow the strength of your opinion and your passion to do the talking. Allow the strength of the message to have the impact. You do not need to force this. You do not need to be brash with this. The strength of the message will have the impact that it needs to have without you forcing anything. So someone needs to hear that. To not try and rush or push this on people, because that will have a destructive effect. It almost feels like it will have a backwards effect. So trust the timing, allow it to be a slow burn, because you're working in co-creation with the collective consciousness who are ready to receive your message or your movement in the way that you are uniquely doing it or sharing it. And then the second part of this is really about allowing the strength of the message and movement to carry the impact rather than you feeling like you need to carry it all. You are a conduit of this message. You are a conduit of this movement. But it is not your responsibility for how that lands on other people. Now, when I say that out loud, my logical mind is like, of course you have to have awareness and responsibility over how what you say and what you do and how you behave might impact others. I think that's something beautiful about morality and responsibility as a human. And also discernment is knowing that there is a difference between intention and impact. And I used to say this to my team members, is that you might have a good intention for something, but you also have to understand or ask yourself, how might this land if I actually say this out loud? Because some of my team members would say ideas to me and I'm like, I would ask them questions to stress test the ideas. And then they would say, oh, it's actually not a good idea. And I would always say, remember that intention is different to impact. So you might have a good intention with this idea, but you have to understand that saying it to the founder or the owner of the business, you've got to ask yourself, is this good for the business? Is this going to land and be of impact in the way that I intended it to? So I'm using that as an example of this message or movement that you are a conduit of, is also just being aware of, I know what my intentions are, but let me be responsible and aware of how it impacts others. But when I said what I said before, it was more from an essence of, you don't need to push and force this. Like the message will do what the message needs to do. So be mindful if you ever get yourself into a place of like, like why do more people not know about this, and I need to try and really push this and get this out there and get this out there. I almost want to say to you, like, also have the other person that you're speaking to in mind, that they also need to be prepared for the message to land. So give yourself and the person you're speaking to grace. Like allow the energy and the frequency of what you share to land with who and when and where it needs to. Like the message and the movement is going to be your guidance. It will guide you. It will tell you where it wants to go, the people, the spaces, the places that it is meant to arrive. So allow the message and the frequency of that to guide you to where it needs to arrive in order for its impact to be of the highest impact. Okay. All right, let me see if anything else wants to come through here. I'm seeing music. Music, notes, frequency could be relevant. Maybe you are someone that uses music in your spiritual practice. Maybe music carries a frequency or something of importance for you. Some of you may be musicians or creating music, and maybe that is part of your impact, of your message and your movement, because I feel like that's really the core message of today. Maybe music is intertwined with that. And I want to say, keep learning, keep expanding your knowledge around this, and do it from a place of curiosity, fun, and awe. Again, it's not from a place of, I need to know this so I can push this on people. It's from a place of, I'm passionate, I can feel this message like moving through every cell and fiber of my being. It is awakening something in me. And I just need to continue expanding my ability to be a powerful conduit of this message or movement. So if I feel called to learn something or read something, it's not from a place of, oh, I need to know so I can force more information down people's minds, but it's more from a place of, I'm expanding my ability to be a better conduit of this work. And for some of you, this might also be giving yourself some space from it, okay? To actually like move when the message is moving through you, and then also to take a step back when it doesn't want to move through you, and actually maybe be a human for a little bit, you know, go watch Netflix or go cook or go out with your friends or do something that's a bit more human. Give yourself the space, because I'm seeing this rhythm almost like you're connected with it. You take some space, more of it comes through. You delve deeper into it. Not from a place of you being disconnected, from a place of you actually honoring the rhythm of the message. So you might need to have some space, because space actually gives clarity. It works as a pattern interrupt. This is why if you feel that, you know, you've been working on your laptop for 8 hours and you're starting to feel a bit agitated and maybe you've got brain fog, you go for a walk and listen to some music, and then you come back and you're like, oh, I feel clearer now, I feel better now. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It's not that you're, you know, really into it and then you suddenly disconnect and say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. No, it's about trusting the natural rhythm of the symbiosis between you and this message that you are a conduit for. Okay, team, I feel like that feels pretty complete. I feel like you are a leader. You are here to be someone of impact, to help other people, to be a conduit of a very important message or movement. And I feel like maybe this was just a few little insights or a few little kind of puzzle pieces and clarity that helps you really work with this message and movement in the best way possible, or in the highest way possible. So let me know in the comments if this video landed. And what landed specifically for you. Let me know. I love reading the comments. Subscribe, because I do readings like this on a weekly basis if you feel called to be part of this community. Other than that, guys, I'm sending you so much peace, love, and strength as you go through this season. Keep being the leader that you are, and I will see you on the next one.